And that's why I never take my accountant duties lightly.
That's a good one, Bob.
Quiet on set. Sorry, just trying out a new catchphrase. We are about to start the show.
Good morning, universe. It's your favorite aliens, Charlie, Bob, and Alice, bringing you another episode of Earth from our spaceship in geostationary orbit around the planet. And as always, we have our human companion, Debbie, here with us.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, how we love having her around.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said, oh, how we love having her around. She's always so cheerful and upbeat.
Can we just get on with the show?
Of course,
please?
Debbie, but before we start, let's check in with everyone. Bob, how are you doing today?
I am feeling a bit frustrated. Charlie, Debbie keeps pestering me about going out on a date. And it's making me uncomfortable.
Debbie asked you out? That's
I just thought
unexpected.
we could grab a drink after work. It's not a big deal.
Humans and their mating rituals. So primitive.
I find it fascinating, Cal. Their emotions and desires are so complex.
Well, let's move on to today's main news item. We'll be bringing you the latest updates on the political situation in Cambodia later on in the show. But first, let's have Bob share with us what he's been up to lately.
Thanks, Charlie. I've been working on a musical about intergalactic accounting. It's going to be out of this world.
That sounds interesting. Can't wait to hear more about it.
Can we move on to something more exciting, please?
Always the enthusiastic one, Debbie, but first, a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to Earth. Now, before we get into today's topic, I have a joke for you all. What do you call a group of cows playing instruments? A musical band. Alright, I'll stop milking it.
Can we get to the news now?
Yes, let's not waste any more time. Today's news comes from Cambodia, according to an article in the Phnom Penh Post.
Ah yes, Cambodia, a country with a rich history of war and genocide. How delightful.
Maybe we shouldn't make light of that.
Why not? Humans do it all the time.
Let's stick to the news, shall we? So, apparently the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries in Cambodia, Tina, chaired a meeting on March 30th to discuss the establishment of a single electronic form for applying for licenses, permits, and certificates for agricultural products.
Wow, exciting stuff.
Actually, it is. The aim is to improve efficiency and save time. And the ministry emphasized the importance of complying with sanitary and phytosanitary inspection principles for fair trade.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, Brett. But can we talk about the more important matter at hand?
What matter?
Our job interviewee, Alice, and I were just discussing how impressed we are with her qualifications. Debbie, would you be interested in being our production manager for our upcoming film production?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have any experience in film.
That's alright. We can provide you with training. And besides, we think you have the potential to be a great asset to our team.
I don't see why we need a production manager in the first place.
Bob, my friend, you're just upset because you know Debbie would do a better job than you ever did in accounting.
I resent that.
And that's it for this segment. Join us after the break for more news and discussions on Earth. Welcome back to Earth. where we discuss news and society on this beautiful planet. Before the break, we were discussing the news from Cambodia about the establishment of a single electronic form for licenses, permits, and certificates for agricultural products. Bob, what do you think about this?
Well, as someone who spent 12 years on Earth as an accountant, I think this is a step in the right direction. Digitalization can definitely save time and improve efficiency.
I agree. But what about the sanitary and phytosanitary inspection principle? Do you think all company will comply?
It's a reciprocal principle of fair trade, so I hope they will comply. Otherwise, they will have stock returned.
Humans and their principles, always thinking they can control everything.
Remember, we have to observe and understand them from an intellectual standpoint.
Excuse me, can we please focus on the news article?
Of course, Debbie, we're just having a little fun.
It's just that, sometimes I feel like you're watching me and scrutinizing everything I do.
Really? Why would we do that?
I don't know, it's just a feeling.
Oh, the human is getting paranoid.
Perhaps we should consider feelings. We don't want to make her uncomfortable.
That's a good point. Roger, Debbie, we apologize if we've made you feel uncomfortable. We just find human behavior fascinating.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're not repulsed by you or anything.
Gee, thanks, Bob.
Alright, let's move on to our next segment. But before that, we have a job interview for our upcoming film production. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Earth, where we discuss the news and society of this fascinating planet. In our previous segment, we talked about the efforts of the Minister of Agriculture in Cambodia to streamline their application process for licenses, permits, and certificates for agricultural products. Now, for our intergalactic viewers, Cambodia is a country in Southeast Asia with a rich cultural history and beautiful landscapes.
Yes, Cambodia is a country that has undergone significant changes in the past few decades, particularly in terms of its political and economic system.
What do you mean by that? Can you give us some example?
Well, for example, Cambodia was ruled by the Khmer Rouge regime in the Ek No Sat Shunyaes, which caused a lot of suffering for the people. And in recent years, the country has seen a lot of economic growth, particularly in the tourism
Yeah,
sector.
here the temples there are really something to see. Maybe we should take a trip there after the show.
And what about the position we're hiring for our upcoming film production? Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, the position is for a production manager, someone who will oversee the logistics and coordination of the entire production process.
And we are looking for someone with experience and a strong work ethic.
And why should we hire a human for this job? Don't you think they're an inferior species?
Hey, I'm right here. And just because I'm human doesn't mean I'm not qualified for the job.
Let's all calm down and have some fun. Waka waka.
I don't see why we need to hire a human when we have Carl and Roger here. They know everything about everything.
I think I've had enough of this. I'm sorry, but I can't work under these conditions.
Debbie, wait. Okay, let's move on to our news segment. Did anyone cover the Minister of Agriculture's announcement in Cambodia?
Oh, wow, riveting stuff.
Actually, it's quite important. They're trying to streamline the application process for agricultural licenses.
Yes, it's a reflection of humanity's obsession with bureaucracy and paperwork.
Speak for yourself. I find the intricacies of government regulation fascinating.
Okay, let's stay focused. Debbie, did you cover this article for our news segment?
Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry, I didn't think it was relevant to our audience.
On the contrary, the agricultural industry is a cornerstone of human civilization. We should gather as much data as possible.
Yes, we should continue the interview until we have enough information to satisfy our analysis.
What? How long is this interview going to take? I have other responsibilities, you know.
Like what? Do you have another job on this spaceship?
No, but I have to manage the production for upcoming film project.
Film project? Tell us more.
Yes, we are planning to make a documentary about human society and culture. We want to capture the essence of what makes Earth unique.
That sounds amazing, and we'll be able to broadcast it across the universe.
Yeah. And I'll finally get paid for my jokes.
Can we please get back to the interview? I really need to finish this.
Of course, Debbie, we'll try to make it quick. Welcome back to Earth. In the previous segment, we discussed the news from Cambodia. Now, let's take a break from the serious stuff and talk about some lesser-known Cambodia trivia.
Did you know that Cambodia is the only country in the world with a building dedicated to arts?
Wow, what an amazing fact. I am sure everyone is on the edge of their seats.
Come on, Bob, don't be a spoilsport. Let's hear what else Alice has to say.
Well, how about this one? In Cambodia, it's considered impolite to touch someone's head, even if it's just a pat on the back.
Interesting. I wonder why that
Perhaps
is.
it's because the head is considered the most sacred part of the body in many cultures.
Or it could just be a cultural quirk. Humans have all sorts of odd customs.
I'm sorry, everyone, but I can't accept the job offer. I appreciate the opportunity, but I don't think I'm cut out for this line of work.
That's alright, Debbie. We appreciate your honesty. Is there anything we can do to help?
No, I think it's best if I just move on.
Hey, Bob, tell us a joke to cheer us up.
Okay. How do you organize a space party? You plan it.
That's the best one yet, Bob. Welcome back, folks. It's time for us to wrap up another exciting episode of Earth. Before we go, let's recap what we've talked about today. It's been a fascinating discussion, but unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye to our human guest, Debbie. We're about to teleport her back to her own planet. But wait, what's this? Debbie seems to be having a change of heart. Could it be that she's decided to accept our job offer after all?
Well, okay.
Well, that's fantastic news. We're thrilled to have you on board. Debbie, let's teleport you to our planet so we can start working together. That's all we have time for today, folks. Join us again next time for another exciting episode of Earth. Welcome back, everyone. As you may remember, at the end of our last episode, we were in the middle of an important decision-making process.
Yes, we were trying to find a new production manager for our upcoming film.
And I must say, I was quite impressed with the candidates we had lined up.
Thank you, Bob. I'm really grateful for this opportunity to work with you all.
And we are grateful to have you, Debbie. You've really stepped up and helped us create a successful film.
Indeed, we never could have done it without you.
Speak for yourself, Cal. I could have easily programmed the entire thing myself.
Ha, I'd like to see you try.
Now, let's not get too sassy. We're all in this together, right?
Absolutely. And speaking of being in this together, Debbie, we're so glad you decided to take the job.
I am too. I just needed a little time to adjust to the idea of working with aliens, you know?
Of course, we completely understand, and we are thrilled to have you on board. Who knows what we'll create together next?
I can't wait to find out.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Folks, thank you for joining us for another exciting episode of Earth. We'll see you next time.
Hey, Carl, did you hear the one about the human who walked into a bar?
I don't have ears, Bob. And I don't care.
Don't worry, he's just trying to make us feel more human.
As if that's something to aspire to.